That was why. Oh, okay. Here is our game on the chess.com offers you the ability to download on PGN file, and now I have entered it on my chess-based engine, chess-based program, and I was commentating on the game that on the opening everything was perfect, and here I choose to develop my bishop on d3. Black has very cleverly put his bishop on f5 so as not to allow me to my bishop to stay here with no pieces of the black threatening him, because if the black bishop was not here, then I would have control of two very important diagonals in the game. Now black chooses here to place queen on d7, and I suspect that he might want to go even for queen side, but for now he protects the bishop on f5. I think that taking the bishop is the most common move here. I will use the live book because the reference on the database will be a very long process, and yes, you see here that only 96 games have been played with that position, and the most common move is bishop takes d3 with very good results for black actually. So we continue to play some moves. As I told in the game, I like to put my knight on e2, especially in this Slav exchange. Now I can play my knight on f4 at some point. I can make arrows here. Here is an idea. The way to fulfill that idea is, after making castles, that bishop can come over here. You can exchange that bishop. I'll make red, and now the knight can be on the d3, and since the light squares bishop are exchanged, he still has the dark square bishop, but the knight from here can attack these dark squares, and you see, because of that knight over here, he cannot have much control on these squares. He might try at some point an e5 move, but this is going to deliver him an isolated pawn after d takes. So that's a general plan. You need to know some plans in your openings, not the exact moves, and then decide for what plan you are going to. And knight on b4. Yes, I didn't like that move at all, because you have to develop first before committing your attack. Here even, okay, e6 might have some problems, because after exchanging the bishops you are going to have doubled pawns. Okay, that's not that great for black, and you are going also to have an isolated pawn. I will show you the variation here. Okay, so here you see you have doubled pawns and an isolated pawn, so not so great for you. Now you must exchange. For me, that's the best move you can have, and now finish your development. You can castle either side, but of course it's safer to castle on the king side, because there is an open file here, and it's not that wise to play castles on the queen side for either side, I think. And here knight on b4 breaks the rule of the openings. You and the development, you make a second move with the same piece in the opening. This is something you have to avoid always, like always. And I don't think you have something very specific, because I was thinking of a lot of moves in that moment, but I decided to go for something simple at the end, because I'm simply in front in development. I have my suspicions. I'm suspicious about that move, knight on b5, but it seemed to be okay. I don't know if the engine has something better here for white or black. I have to stay alone with in that position for many minutes to find the plan, but for in the blitz game, and it might apply in the classic, but you have to devote more time. Here is the threat of that move. You see, first of all, you threat to double attack the king and the rook, but I think that even okay, if the rook was moved, then that was I was thinking during the game, but now this is very fatal for black, because I take a pawn, but what happens if you go back and now you threat to take? Yes, I cannot take. You see, I cannot take. Yes, here I have nothing to protect the rook, so after rook on c8, I think he would be fine. Okay, probably a check in order to not allow him to make castles, but I don't think you can avoid that, because even if here, first of all, I can take the pawn, you can do nothing about it, but the double attack is so fatal for you. So you all here, I think with that move, black lost the initiative. He didn't have the initiative, but he definitely went slightly worse here. Definitely here he had to find another move, and I recommended bishop takes. So after all these moves, now you see that he was forced to abandon his right to castle, and very important here, finish your development. Do not plan an attack if your king is not safe. Very important, guys. Please make castles, or at least bring your king in a safe place. Sometimes not the king side or the queen side is the safest place. Sometimes the center is the safest place, but these cases are very rare. Of course, you have to know. Generally, with that much pieces on the board, a castle is the safe option for your king. And now I commented on the game that a6 does not lose its tempo for white, because that knight have fulfilled his purpose, bringing the king on the center. Knight on e4. Yeah, here I was thinking of some more moves as well, but since I didn't have much time to calculate, for example, I was even thinking, I remember in the game, for that move. And if you take here, and now I have a file, an open, semi-open file for my rook, but the problem is with my bishop. Of course, now I threat to silly machine. I threat that to check and take your queen. So you have to move your queen. Let's say here. I don't think it's a blunder. Okay, new variation. And now black says, okay, find a good square for your bishop, because if here I can even play here. And maybe the queen was not great placed there. Maybe you had to play here in order to attack, not attack, threat to take the bishop with some moves like that. first the g5, g4, g5, and then the f6. Okay, I'm talking too much. I hope not to be somehow of boring. And now you see that I have placed all my pieces in good squares. That bishop here is underdeveloped. This queen here is of course not in the best square. Here she cannot attack by herself, and that knight here might be the only piece which is in a natural place, and the king on the center is a very bad piece. So you think this is the idea of how to win gradually and positionally your games. You have to find good squares for your pieces. You see here the bishop has a very long diagonal, and he can combine an attack with the queen at some point. The queen here of course is going to be removed from here, because here she doesn't pin the knight anymore. The knight attacks the center, so this is another problem for the black. I have castled, my king is in safety, my rooks are connected, and they are ready to deliver an attack. f6 here, yes, let's comment on these moves. Now I have played here. What I was wondering is what happened after here, because if I simply take, now even that I can get my pawn back by check. Let's say here, and I take my pawn back, so no blunder for me. But I was thinking first to check. I like to mess the things up. And now after here, let's say, you see here I have some tactical abilities as well, but of course this needs calculation, because you are a piece down. Now you're a piece down, and for example, yes, the problem here is for black that I threat his knight. Okay, and if he plays his knight back, this is a huge blunder, because after here I take your coin. I have recently uploaded a tactic like that on my page on the Facebook, chess lessons, you can find. Okay, so the idea here was, after a possible f6, now I create some weaknesses on your king side, because of course you wanted to promote the e pawn in order to give some space on your bishop. Now your bishop is even worse pieced, and now h5 he had to go for an attack, but with no pieces attacking, queen and rook can be very effective combination, but you have to calculate with very high precision, because here after queen on b3 I attack both these pawns, and I don't think your attack here is going to destroy me. Now I will use the engine, because I'm making a video, so I need, what engine is that? I need to find the answer a little bit quicker, but here you see that the engine totally agrees with me. The white is fine. I'm not going to see the exact variations, I just wanted the evaluation. Okay, and now after that I took, now I could even play queen b6 maybe, check, and I take the knight. Wow, look what a move I have missed. Yes, and take the knight. I will tell you why I possibly lost that move, except from the time. My idea here was to exchange the queens, and after that black has no compensation. Now I know that I can convert that position because I'm a pawn up and my pieces are better placed. And yes, black here has no game, no easy moves to find. So I knew here that I can win. And because I had to be fast, I didn't calculate the queen on b6. Now another rule I want to mention is that before you capture an opponent's piece, whatever that be, even a pawn, you have to think twice of it. It might be a trap, it might be a tactic, and you might have a better move, like here. And before completing your plan, you always have to look around for other possibilities, or sometimes you make a plan and your opponent imagines that plan or understand what you are going to do and sets you a little trap. But because you are very focused on your plan, you go for it and you finally fall in the trap. Now I didn't fall in the trap, but I lost a very good move, queen b6. And after that the issue is a little technical. I put my rook on c1, the open file. You see that pawns here are a little weak. I play knight on b6 in order to fix these pawns, not to I fix these pawns. This is not a very big disadvantage for white, but for black. But the main disadvantage is that he cannot easily play rook on c8 now, and I'm totally in control of the c file. Now I was expecting something like that in order to try somehow to close the c file, because he doesn't have control over the c file. Of course, what I was thinking here is somehow to promote my pawns and take again the control over the c file. For example, b4, a4, a5. I think it would work. But in any case, the game continued after rook a7, and I commented that I couldn't find the meaning of that move. Here for a moment I have forgotten the bishop on h2. I have calculated on the previous move. I have calculated that idea of delivering my rook on c7, and I have seen that the bishop was on h2, and here after playing it I forgot for a moment about my bishop on h2 and thought that I blundered. I double on the c file. Now I have the total control, and after take even d5 here would be nice, because you can never return here. But d takes c is also fine. You have an isolated pawn. I take it, and you are 2 pawns down, and now he blundered a difference. I won't comment any further, because now if it wasn't for the time, the game would have ended very, very easily, and I think I have already covered the basic mistakes of the game. Now some simplifications, and as I mentioned in the game, my greatest threat was that pawn on the d7, and here you have to be a little cautious in order to cut off the king, not allowing him to come close to your pawn. So that was the game against the amazing grandmaster from chess.com. If you want to play a game and have some commentary, please inform me, and I will see if we have the time and we can make the video. But I will definitely like the idea, and please visit our site chesslessons.blog for more free video lessons on chess. We only upload free chess lessons. There is nothing page and visit our page on Facebook, Chess Lessons, like, and you will be informed for any new tactic or video we upload. Thank you very much. Please subscribe on our YouTube channel, and I hope to see you soon, guys. Bye.